Welcome to They Said We Said for a very special dual movie review. This one is for the movie June and Blood Moon River. So I was very fortunate enough to get an early screening to these two movies thanks to the good folks at Rad Entertainment and HM&M Films. So first off, we're going to start with the movie June. So this one is Tony Walters' directorial debut, and he also served as the writer of this film, starring only Rebecca Erb, Daniel Murphy, and Briar Sage, with an original score by Adam Gundrum, courtesy of the Space Brain Collective. So just to let you know, these are both non-spoiler reviews. These movies haven't even been released yet, so I'm just going to give you kind of an early take with no spoilers, but we will kind of dive into each movie a little bit. The tone is set with the movie as we get an aerial shot panning down. We kind of get to see a nice little town neighborhood, very gray, very dreary. So as the title scene comes on, we see Rebecca Erb, our star, walking up to the house and knocking on a door. And who opens that door? Well, Mr. Daniel Murphy himself. So our female character needs to make a phone call, and our character that's living in the house kind of lets her in. He's a nice guy, right? Who knows? So once we're inside the house, that's where kind of things take a turn for the worse. Shit hits the fan, transforms into a high tension suspense, torture scene, which, again, no spoilers here, but is handled in a very inventive way. I will say this, our main character, Rebecca Erb, especially for this being her main role in her first movie, she did a fantastic job being believable. There are a lot of twists and turns, and it was a lot to ask for a first featuring role, and I think she pulled it off, kind of going through a lot of different emotions and a lot of different dare I say even action scenes. She handles it very well. Daniel Murphy was equally as fantastic. You could tell he really has some, experience behind the camera and in front of the camera. Daniel Murphy does bad guy very well, and he also just comes off as menacing very well. I could describe this short movie as, tonally very suspenseful, very dreary, but in a very entertaining way. Was it a perfect movie? No, it was not, but it was actually absolutely brilliant for a first go at it from Tony Walters. And I have to say, the real star of the show is, I think, Adam Gundrum's score, which set that mood extremely well. So it's definitely hard talking about this movie without giving anything away. It's, just being able to tell you about kind of Rebecca Erb and Daniel Murphy's performances, plus the style of shooting. And I have to say, Briar Sage gives a very daring performance as well. So June is an amazing short and an amazing first attempt by Tony Walters, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So now moving on to Blood Moon River. Blood Moon River is written and directed by Daniel Murphy, one of the two stars of June, and this is more of a feature-length film, runs around 55 minutes or so, and this one is an ensemble cast featuring Sarah Ingram, Eric Riume, Carol McDonald, Nephasia St. Pierre, Stan Traylor, RJ Seacott, Sidney Dean, Lindy Schrader, Cameron Scott, James Michael, and Jack Norman. Also has acting appearances by Daniel Murphy, and it was the on-camera debut of Rebecca Erb and Tony Walters. So Blood Moon River is kind of a blood relative to movies like, early Friday the 13th and Blair Witch Project. It is a found footage movie, and it follows a TV show crew, rather, called Debunked. They are going to debunk any rumors of what transpires at Blood Moon River. Some of the kind of urban legends and urban lore, but there has been a lot of disappearances, including one of the character named Janelle. Her two best friends also have kind of gone there first, and they have kind of turned up missing as well. So in this large cast, there are definitely some standouts of the group. I think Nephasia St. Pierre is absolutely a standout in this group of actors, as well as Stan Traylor playing the role of Derek. Now, at first, I'm going to be completely honest, I thought the role of Derek was going to be a problem for me. It was kind of, he's kind of just like the loud, boisterous one of the group. In the car, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the guy that I'm going to have a problem with during this movie. But you know what? He actually turned out to be one of my favorite characters in the movie. He was very much the Bill Paxton character. You know, you think Bill Paxton and Aliens, put him in, Friday the 13th setting, and that's kind of the performance we got, which I dug quite a bit. Also, Eric Riume played the role of Finch. He was absolutely fantastic. He's kind of the main showrunner, I guess, of Debunked, and he's kind of getting everyone, kind of corralling the tomfoolery. There is a lot, in perfect 80s slasher movie kind of vein, there is a lot of, I would say, strong sexual content in this one, which is not necessarily a bad thing for those who like it. I don't mind it. So showing up to the campsite, it's all well and good. Everyone's having a great time. There's songs being played, drinks being had, and weed being smoked. Typical camping trip, right? So before the entire cast of Debunked shows up to the campsite, during the credits, we do get to meet the two other castmates that kind of went on before them, and they are in a relationship, and we get to kind of see, without spoilers, we get to kind of see that there is some kind of creature in and around Blood Moon River, and it has attacked them. So now flash forward to when our group kind of does show up. First night usually is all right, and it's not really to the next day, once our group kind of wakes up and decides to take a fun dip in the nearby creek, when we get introduced to some other characters kind of indigenous to the area, which our group mistakenly just kind of blows off as just random backwater trailer trash that they could just kind of shoo off. Well, that was mistake number one. So after some off-camera run-ins with our creature, some shit hits the fan, and our group is kind of trapped in the woods. And this is where the movie actually kind of really picks up for me, is when we're actually kind of trudging through the woods looking for an answer or a solution as to what's going on. What are the strange occurrences that are happening to the group. And this is where I really appreciate, there's some really stylized shots here. It's explained that one of our characters has a camera on his glasses. Someone has like kind of a strapped camera on their chest with some other cameras and some drone cameras, where you really get a lot of POVs at once. I think at one point you get like up to 3 different shots on the frame of different people kind of looking at different things, which is really cool and really different, which I appreciated quite a bit. So, then stuff happens, shit hits the fan, and people start dying, and that's when it becomes an extremely fun creature kind of slasher film, and it's a lot of fun. This part is a lot of fun, actually, with some good effect. You could tell that the effects people that were involved in making the movie and making June, now that I think about it, I didn't say anything about the effects for that, but they were actually fantastic. But people start dying, and we're all kind of running from the big bad monster, and that's when we get to the third act, where a huge mind-blowing twist happens, and it turns into a completely different movie, and my jaw was on the floor for like probably the last 15 minutes. I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? But in the best possible way, because it really took an original turn. I would say maybe a turn that not everyone would agree with, but I thought it was a blast. And it, like I said, it kept it fresh, kept it original, and I really appreciated that. So, Blood Moon River is not going to be, I think, a movie for 100% of the population. I think Blood Moon River would definitely benefit for a director's cut and kind of shave down some of the things to be able to release to more of a mass market. But I think but for people that are fans of this genre, and for people that want to see an original kind of horror film, suspense film that's brutal and sexy and crazy all at the same time, then this movie is absolutely for you. So Daniel Murphy, the writer and director of Blood Moon River, please keep up the good work, and I can't wait to see what else you do. Thank you so much to Rad Entertainment and HM&M Films for giving me the early screener and be able to review it for you. I can't wait for you guys to be able to order. The DVD is coming out very soon. I know they're screening it, I think, for the first time to a festival on the 22nd of this month. But if you go to hmmfilms.com, link in the description below, You can pre-order Blood Moon River, which June is also on the DVD as well. So please go now and pre-order your copy of Blood Moon River, which June is also on the DVD as well. So you get 2 movies for the price of 1. Please check out these films. They are fantastic, especially being their first films that these folks have directed. They did an amazing job. Please go support them. And you can also support Tony Walters by subscribing to Rad Entertainment, the YouTube channel, and I'll put that link in the description below as well. So thanks for joining me for this double movie review, and we'll see you next time.